Welcome to TW Sports Talk. The summer is basically over for all intents and purposes,
Are you ready for some football?
and we're gearing up for essentially the football season now, which starts Thursday this week, tomorrow, as we record this edition of TW Sports Talk.
Yep.
The Ravens and Broncos. That's definitely a good game
Yep.
to start off with.
Somebody brought up that back in January, because it is in Denver again. It was 10 degrees out. Tomorrow's forecast, it's going to be in the 80s, supposedly.
Rather.
So just
Climate temperature in Denver.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather play football in 80 degrees in Denver than 10 degrees.
Yeah. So, I guess we'll go through all the divisions here, which a lot of people are doing right now as we get closer to the season.
they already had the power rankings come out.
Power ranking, yeah.
Obviously, like I figured, a lot of Denver, San Francisco. Actually, a lot of like Atlanta, Seattle too.
Yeah.
Really, the closest like AFC team after Denver is New England, I think.
Yeah, New England, maybe Houston.
Oh yeah, Houston's been in there.
Houston's got
the Bengals have been really rising. Bengals stock's been really going up.
Yeah.
I mean, they did get a lot of new acquisitions in that, and obviously, like I said, a new Ravens team.
Right.
Missing a lot of guys from that Super Bowl team.
Yeah, but I mean,
the Steelers are old.
Yeah.
And the Cleveland Browns are the Cleveland Browns. So.
Right. So yeah, and since you bring that division up, I guess we'll start off with that division, and I guess the AFC in general.
Yeah.
I think number one, the division winner. I'm thinking Bengals right now. I think maybe they'll get 11 wins this year. I think.
I mean, yeah. I always said they have a lot of guys back from last year's team, a lot of new stars,
upside,
a lot of upside this year. Obviously, if this team doesn't win the division, or at least worst case, not make the wild card here, somebody's gonna be out of a job in Cincinnati then, pretty much.
Yeah.
And because you have all this hype, and obviously I've already heard Skip Bayless say he's not buying into the hype. I kind of am, because I'm like, okay, who else in this division is? I mean, Baltimore's got a lot of new faces. And they might compete.
Baltimore, I don't think Baltimore will be a wild card. I see only 10 games again this year. I mean, they still got Joe Flacco, and they still have some. They've got Ray Rice.
Yeah,
they got a great coach. So, obviously, I think either way they'll compete. But yeah, it might be a year for the Bengals to win the division here. And
I mean, obviously, like I said, the Ravens. I'll go Cincinnati and Baltimore too.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm probably gonna. Here's a split. I'm gonna go Cleveland third and Pittsburgh fourth.
Cleveland third. I mean, Cleveland's got. They got a little upside in Pittsburgh.
This is the first year of Norv Turner as defensive coordinator, and already in the preseason, Brandon Weeden the offense looks slightly better, especially in the passing game.
Yeah.
So already they have this upside for Cleveland here. Now, do I think it's going to make the playoffs this year? No, but it's a good sign down the line for the franchise that if they get 6 wins this year.
Yeah, I see them.
As good as Mike Tomlin is as a coach, though, I don't know how Pittsburgh can get this going here.
Yeah.
Tomlin's a good coach. I mean, I know I had Ben Roethlisberger in my top 10 quarterbacks list because I think he is a top 10 quarterback in the league. But I'm starting to say, okay, wait, you don't have this guy, or this guy, or this guy, or this guy, and this guy's old, and this guy's old, and this guy's old.
Yeah.
Where's the depth on this team here?
Yeah.
Injuries happen, Tyler.
And when it happened last year, you saw how it kind of hurt him.
Once Roethlisberger was out, and that's the thing, there's going to be a lot of pressure on Roethlisberger this year to stay healthy.
Right.
And I think he will, but at the same time, he needs help.
Yeah.
It's almost time to hit the
refresh
button and the rebuilding.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's Mike Tomlin. Maybe they make a playoff run, but at this point, I gotta say fourth place. I think Cleveland's starting to move in the right direction, and I think Pittsburgh's just too stubborn right now to hit that refresh button.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I got more. We'll make the playoffs.
That's the division gets the wild. Yeah. So Joe Flacco gets the Ravens to the playoffs.
Right. Yeah. And as we saw last year, if you get to the playoffs, who knows what happens, especially with the way he played. But I mean, we won't really totally know how that will go down until we actually get to that time of the year.
Yeah.
And then we got, okay, we'll go, I guess, the opposite of the North, the AFC South
Okay.
from there.
Oh.
Texans, I think, I've been on the edge between the Texans and Colts as far as the division winner goes, but,
Mhm.
they got J.J. Watt on the defense, and they got weapons. I could see them and the Colts having the same record, and it just coming down to division record.
Like last year, pretty much. They had the same record
Right?
last year.
Yeah. It's tough to say, but
sounds like you're going Texans.
I lean Texans though, because they got the defense is there obviously. And they do have a top 5 running back. They got Andre Johnson. So some might ride on Matt Schaub's performance, obviously too.
To me,
as far as how that
that's
team goes.
This is a make or break it for him this year.
Yeah,
he's got to perform. He has to play consistent all season.
Right.
This is his make or break it year. If they collapse, it's all on him.
Right.
Because you can't. What? It's Aaron Foster's fault.
Yeah, it's J.J. Watt's fault.
Is it? I mean, who else are you missing here?
Yeah.
So, but because I think the quarterback position is so important right now in the NFL, I'm going Colts to win the division.
Colts. Yeah.
Andrew Luck
I could see it.
is going to have a way better season than he did last year. First of all, I think he's going to go less picks because he might have a decent year, but he's still 12.
They started off a little, pretty mediocre, and then they really caught fire.
I think he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna go through a sophomore slump. I am actually convinced this guy could. Hell, maybe the Pro Bowl.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, Brady.
He was
Brady
damn
Manning.
good in the preseason.
Yeah.
He looked damn good in the preseason.
Yeah.
You got and you brought Andre Johnson. We got veteran Reggie Wayne. Remember my fantasy team, Ty Hilton. I remember my fantasy team. It looks like a top young wide receiver in the future.
Yeah.
Not the best. They're not as good as but they're not a bad defense
either.
Right,
not a bad defense.
They're easily better than the Eagles' defense.
Yeah.
I'm an Eagles fan. I'm going to admit that. They got a better defense than us.
Yeah.
The only question mark really is the running back position maybe. But at the end of the day, I think it comes down to quarterback. And at this point, Andrew Luck, and it's only his second year, Tyler, is a better quarterback than Matt Schaub is.
Yeah. Right.
And here's one too. The Texans don't make the playoffs this year.
Really?
I'm going on a limb this year.
Yeah, I mean, that would really. I see. The thing is, I think all the AFC. I mean, this is kind of a spoiler for the other divisions, but I think all the AFC teams are in the playoffs.
From last year.
I just can't think of anybody else. Yeah.
I actually can think of somebody. Call me crazy. I'm not going to say it yet. We're going to get to it.
I think I know, but yeah, we'll get to it.
But we'll get to it.
And then. Yeah, then the Titans and Jaguars.
Chris Johnson's gonna put up some decent numbers.
Right.
I think he will. Unfortunately,
who is? Yeah.
I mean, Jay Locker. The complete opposite of Andrew Luck. Kind of going through still. He still hasn't gotten over that whole rookie or sophomore slump, really. Yeah. And then, of course, there's Jacksonville, who will be lucky to win one game this year.
Right. Well,
good luck, Chad Henne, the Wilson, our local Berks County in here.
Yeah.
In the NFL, who's Bangford of all people,
starting job in Jacksonville.
Yeah. So
can you even their 4 receivers? I'm trying to. They could have a wide. Well, actually, it's going to be interesting about Jacksonville thing is they have Denard Robinson, who played quarterback for Michigan at one point. I think he's on the roster as a running back / wide receiver. So we're interested to see how he does this year.
Yeah,
he's not the first guy. I mean, I remember one time they had Matt Jones on the team. He played quarterback in college, and he played a pretty decent wide receiver for a little bit in the NFL. But no, I'm going Colts, Texans. Don't make the playoffs though.
Right.
Titans and then Jacksonville.
All right. AFC East.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, Patriots win the division.
Well,
I mean,
this
is a pretty weak division. Over, other than the Patriots.
And this is a pretty weak Patriots team compared to the teams in the past. But
yeah, but as long as you have, they got Tom Brady. Yeah. So
exactly, Tom Brady.
Yeah. And, I guess they're...
You know what? Even if he gets hurt, Ryan Mallett gets in, based on what I saw in the preseason, still win the division.
Yeah, I mean the other
It's still going to
teams-
happen. It just
yeah.
I don't see any.
Yeah, and they got a they got a decent
New York's
running
already
back.
going through chaos. We haven't even got to the kickoff
Yeah.
yet of regular season yet. Miami, Ryan Tannehill. For me, this is not to put any pressure on the guy in his second year, but he is a lot more talented than he did last year. He doesn't have better numbers.
Yeah.
Doesn't look too good for him in the future, in his future endeavors in the
Yeah.
future. And, Buffalo, I mean, E.J. Manuel's the starter. He looks like
C.J. Spillers, yeah, he's top 10 running back.
top 10 running back, but at the same time, Manuel might have a decent year. I think Buffalo could actually come in second place in this division.
They might, yeah, it close to Miami,
which is a huge improvement from last year.
right? I mean, they could win 7 games. I mean, they haven't even won that many games in
Exactly. And E.J.
some
Manuel,
years.
if he has a decent rookie year, could be
Yeah.
rookie of the year possibly. And franchise quarterback now. This is what they've
Right.
been waiting for pretty much for Buffalo.
Yeah,
After that, they can just try to build more people around maybe next year.
yeah,
And maybe then they can compete with New England down the
Right.
line, maybe.
Yeah.
Because Tom Brady's not going to be there forever, and he's not going to be
Yeah.
in top form forever. They do decline eventually, Tyler. It happens to all
Right,
the best eventually.
and then the Jets, yeah, I mean,
Fourth
it's
place.
just kind of.
I'm just going to call it fourth
I think
place.
they're going to be a mess. And
They'll get 4 wins this year.
yeah, I
Poor
see
Geno
something like
Smith.
that.
I mean, congratulations to Mike Jacoby and Tampa Buccaneers
Yeah.
for getting your first win in the regular season. I'm calling it. Tampa's gonna just destroy New York. Geno Smith, oh boy, he'll go down as one of the most overrated rookies this year.
Yeah,
And New York might maybe be looking for a new QB next year, maybe.
yeah.
And coach.
I'm glad the
Maybe
Eagles
general
passed
manager.
on Geno Smith.
Geno Smith.
Because originally they were considering Geno Smith at one time.
I think one time Buffalo was considering him. I thought this guy was
Yeah.
a first round draft pick.
Yeah,
Even Philadelphia, you bought Philadelphia because it was either him or Matt Barkley.
yeah.
I'm kind of glad we went with Barkley. I know Barkley was kind of shaky,
They
but
gotta have to develop him.
to me, Geno
yeah.
Smith is going to be the overrated guy this year.
Yeah,
I've seen this guy in the preseason. He's not ready.
yeah,
He's not even better than Mark Sanchez. What does that tell you about the guy?
yeah.
I mean, and who knows? 4 wins, maybe not number 1 seed, but maybe Johnny Football will be going to New York then.
Who knows? Yeah, they'll have a good draft pick. So
I'm just saying that because he might be the top quarterback in the coming
Right.
college class. Obviously, there's Andy Murray from Georgia. He's going to graduate. Tosh Boyd from Clemson's got a lot of buzz right now.
Teddy
But-
Bridgewater has.
Oh yeah, from Louisville. Yeah, he's pretty good. Yeah, so. But I don't know. Just think Johnny Football.
Yeah,
I know he had a sketchy first game in that, but I think he might shock some people maybe this year and have a back-to-back Heisman wins.
right. And then the last AFC division to cover here, the AFC West.
Yep. So obviously
we have the
Denver.
Broncos.
We're going Denver.
Yeah, we're going yeah.
It's
Probably
it's,
another-
It's,
you
it's
know,
a given.
another-
It's a given.
Another probably for home field advantage year for them in the playoffs.
They have to get them 1 seed
A
in this
Super
division.
Bowl
They have to go
favorite
6-0 in AFC
contender.
West. They're gonna have to win some non-conference games. They should get the number 1 seed in AFC.
Yeah,
There's no excuse.
They're playing the NFC East. They're not,
They got more talent than they did last year.
Yeah, they could go 4-0 against.
I know people are
You know,
saying
I mean-
Von Miller is going to be a factor. I don't
Yeah.
think so. Why? Because you got Peyton Manning at quarterback.
Right, and with Wes Welker.
The newest addition.
Yeah,
And
racks
New
up-
England will regret that
Yeah,
that deal. They will
yeah.
regret it.
especially if Gronkowski doesn't come back anytime soon. But yeah, I mean Broncos, and then
Here it is.
then
Here it is. My surprise player team. And I'm not saying this because I am an Eagles fan or this guy at one point was their coach. But Andy Reid in his first year for Kansas City
It was like sweet sour pork, right?
takes them
takes
to the 6th seed, Tyler. 6th seed. They're going to be the last guy in there. Wild card.
it's
Without led
a
by Alex
possibility.
Smith, Jamal Charles. I
think-
can't think of anybody on the Chiefs in this moment, but it's going to have Andy Reid in his first year. Chiefs are a playoff team.
What do you think they're going to finish record wise? Is it 10-6?
Oh, okay.
What does that mean?
Well,
or-
They are going to beat. They're going to sweep San Diego and Oakland.
yeah, I could see that. That'd be 4 right there.
That's 4 wins right there. Okay. I think they open up against Jacksonville, which is I'm pretty sure it's going to be. a win.
Yeah, they do.
So that's 5 right there. So really, I think in AFC, who see six
Depends
seed.
who else they
6th
play.
seed.
Think about
It was-
think about the
Let's see,
NFC East.
Yeah. But think about no, but well, obviously they face the Jets. That's a win.
Yeah.
So that's 6.
Obviously, they're obviously going to beat somebody from
For
the
the
NFC.
NFC, yeah.
You know, if not a few.
Well, I had lost for Eagle against us here, but that's because it's at home. If it was at Kansas City, that's a win for Kansas City, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think there's like more momentum there for Kansas City, but because it's in Philadelphia, because it's gonna be a raucous crowd,
It'll be an interesting game.
But no, that's my 6th wild card. I don't know what was Cincinnati's record, because they were the 6th seed last year, I believe.
They were 10-6 last year.
That's a pretty decent record. 10. I think maybe even 9 they could get the job done.
10-6 normally.
I think Houston's gonna maybe fall off the map.
I mean,
Houston would be maybe a 7th, but they are gonna miss
9.
the playoffs.
Yeah,
you heard it here, folks. I am gonna go on a whim and go with the Chiefs over the Texans for the final playoff spot.
That's what I'm talking about.
So then you have the Chiefs. I'm second division either way. Playoffs, I don't know about.
Because Chargers just
could be in there.
Chargers just have Phil Rivers, but no Norv Turner.
Turner,
Norv Turner. And Oakland
Chargers.
Tyrone Pryor just got named a starter.
Oakland,
good luck to the man, but you got Darren McFadden. Really, does anybody think the Raiders are going to do well this year? Does anybody?
Yeah. Especially
So that's the AFC right there. I got Denver 1. I'll go New England 2. New England 2. Cincinnati 3. Colts 4. Ravens 5 and Chiefs 6.
Okay. So all right. So then we can move over to the NFC.
Yeah, NFC. When I start at the top, work our way down.
We start with the North. Yeah. Okay. So the NFC North.
Okay.
You got the Packers, the Bears, that division.
Okay. Who you got?
I got the Packers winning the division. I think they got Clay Matthews is now like kind of the new leader of that defense. Essentially,
he's the only leader of that defense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they got some other decent players, but I think they'll finish pretty well.
Yep.
I could see them winning 12 games. I mean, when you got Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback and.
Great. He's gonna have awesome. He's gonna have amazing Pro Bowl numbers, Hall of Fame numbers.
That division could be interesting. Certainly.
However, the division champion will not be the Green Bay Packers, sir.
You got the Bears.
The Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
I think Jay Cutler's gonna come through this year. You got Brandon Marshall at wideout. You got Matt Forte, who is gonna be a beast. Once again, not because he's on my fantasy team, but he's gonna be a beast at running back. And an amazing defense despite losing Brian Urlacher.
Yeah.
They got stuff that a better offensive line at this point than Aaron Rodgers has. Like I said, I'm not saying they're going to sweep the division, but I think they're going to beat Green Bay at least once, and that's all they're going to need because they look at their non-conference. They have a pretty workable schedule.
Yeah.
So Bears, then Packers.
The whole division, the division is up. Is like there's a lot of different.
Well, obviously
positions.
The Vikings were a playoff team last year.
Yeah,
but a lot of people wondering
pretty miraculously because Adrian Peterson
had the
season of
his
lifetime.
Life. But
I don't see the Vikings making it back.
At one point, the Lions were a playoff team, and
right?
They kind of the same people.
I think they'll. Yeah, I think they should do better last year. I mean, last year was like
4th place.
They were 4-12. And
5-11 this year.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they'll win 6.
Poor Calvin Johnson. I think very soon he'll just say he's taking his ball somewhere else because
they got Reggie Bush. I mean, who knows?
I think he's gonna be a non-factor.
Bush.
He was a non-factor at Miami.
Bush is. Yeah, that's true. But who knows?
Hell. I mean, you're talking about the cuts this week. Everybody's talking about Tim Tebow. You know who else got cut too, Tyler? Matt Leinart.
Yeah.
Reggie Bush's USC teammate. A guy who I believe won the Heisman Trophy at one point, just like Tim Tebow. Won a national title with Reggie Bush at one point.
Yeah.
He's not on a team this year. Anyway, Vince Young, who I might add, I think had a better record than most of these guys had, and at least was a pretty decent quarterback in college. I should say, an amazing quarterback in college. Had a decent NFL career, I thought.
For a little.
But he's gone.
Yeah.
Another Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah.
So obviously, a lot of talent out there, but I think Reggie Bush might join that club soon.
Yeah.
He's got to start showing signs of that USC Reggie Bush.
But I mean, at least they have, they may have some kind of running game at least. I mean, they've been pretty pass heavy.
They're still going to be
Because
pass heavy. They're
they might-
still going to be pass heavy.
I mean, they still will, but I mean, at least they might be able to rely on the run a
Okay,
little
so
more.
it sounds like you're going to
But-
go. It sounds like you're going to
No,
go.
I'm gonna no. I'll go Packers. I'll go Bears second in the division,
Mhm.
and then Minnesota, and then the Detroit
Yep,
Lions.
I got
It could
Chicago.
be-
I got Chicago, Green
you
Bay.
got them winning the division.
Chicago, Green Bay. Oh, here's even a more shocker. Green Bay doesn't make the playoffs.
Really?
Now, the people I have coming replacing aren't really going to be much of a shocker because these guys are these two teams are kind of playoff teams this year too. It's not like it's Kansas City where people I have it coming out of nowhere here. But no, you'll see down the line who I got here. But no, it's going to be Chicago, Green Bay, who does not make the playoffs. But Aaron Rodgers will still have a great year,
Yeah.
despite having
Well, I
no
mean,
offensive
I
line
mean,
almost, no defense.
Well, he hasn't had an offensive line, the past few, and he's
Yep.
still been like considered the best quarterback.
He still
the
will
past
be.
couple
He'll still be
years.
on the top.
And I think as long as he has a good year, I mean, I think
I'm not
they'll
saying
be
they have a
there.
bad year. Once again, seventh, they're going to miss
Yeah.
this one team by like a game probably.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
And I like Matt Schaub, who will get blamed for Houston totally collapsing this year. Aaron Rodgers will not get blamed. The defense will get blamed. Mike McCarthy might get blamed. The offensive
Yeah.
line might get blamed. The running game might get blamed.
Well-
But Aaron Rodgers will not get blamed because the statistics will not show it.
Yeah. But I think as long as he has a good year, I think they'll be in the playoffs.
And after the
it's
Pack-
like Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I mean,
And after the Packers, they got the Vikings and the Detroit Lions. Who's their coach?
who's that? Detroit Lions? Or,
Yeah, I forget the guy's name.
I don't even know.
He's gonna be out of a job. Let's say that he's out of a
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
You don't finish fourth for the second straight year to keep your job in the NFL.
Yeah. Especially when they showed promise a couple years ago.
Yeah,
But-
that Lions team. That's why I thought Detroit was actually a shot at maybe a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Didn't happen.
So, moving along,
South.
the South.
Okay.
Okay, you got Atlanta Falcons.
Yes, I do. Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, I don't see. I mean, they got Steven Jackson now as their running back.
My
They got
fantasy.
a lot of the
Another
same.
fantasy pick for me.
Yeah, they got
They got
yeah.
a running game.
And then of
Exactly.
course Julio Jones,
Jones.
a fantasy pick for me.
and,
you know.
and Roddy White, a fantasy pick for me.
Yeah. So-
Tony Gonzalez, the
and
greatest
I got
tight
their I
end.
got their kicker.
Matt Bryan, good kicker.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan, great quarterback. I know I keep hearing people say he's not that consistent in the playoffs. I think he might prove people wrong this
Yeah.
year.
Well, he took him. Yeah, I mean, he took him to the NFC Championship.
He kind of collapsed in that second half.
Yeah. But I mean, that was against a great 49ers team. And so yeah, I see him winning the division
Yep.
again this year. I
And-
mean, they could win 12 games. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
they'll be up
definitely,
there.
Definitely,
They'll be up there.
They'll be up there. My wild card team,
The Saints.
the Saints.
Right.
Sean Payton's
Yeah.
back. Rob Ryan is now the defensive coordinator, and he will make Dallas wish for firing him because he
Yeah.
will improve that New Orleans Saints off defense. Not offense. The offense is already going to be light up amazing this year, but he's going to improve that defense from last year. In fact, I dare say it will be better than the Dallas Cowboys defense.
Right.
What a way to just give the middle finger to Jerry Jones right there. Well, like I said, which it means they're going to be like an average defense, which is all you need to do for in the NFL to win, especially having an
Right.
offense like they have.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, good enough to make the wild card this year.
Yeah.
They got almost everybody back. This whole just controversy from last year is behind them.
Yeah.
They want to show people this year that they are not dead in the water, and they are not. This is a good team. Wild card.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yep. Wild.
So yeah, and then below that you got the Buccaneers and the Panthers.
I got Panthers third.
I got Panther. Yeah.
I think Cam Newton's going to show improvement
Well,
this year. I know
yeah.
some people have
He-
the Panthers kind of hovering, maybe as
Yeah.
a sleeper. I'm not quite buying into that yet.
Yeah, me neither.
Not saying it couldn't happen.
They
It
could
would've-
win 7-8 games maybe,
an
but
improvement.
yeah, that'd be an
And
improvement.
then, of course, fourth is the Terry Buccaneers with Josh Freeman, who if he
Yeah.
if he doesn't deliver this
Doug
year,
Martin, yeah,
Doug Martin. That's what I'm giving about the Buccaneers. Well, we have Doug Martin.
yeah,
Okay, need a quarterback though,
yeah. This
and
is,
Josh Freeman. He has to show it this year. He has to show signs of
Yeah.
improvement. Otherwise, maybe Johnny Football comes calling going on the Tampa Bay
Yeah.
maybe next year.
yeah,
Or Teddy Bridgewater, or anywhere. Or I'm just naming any quarterback that might be in the draft next year.
yeah, yeah. And I could see them winning 6 or 7 games.
Okay.
I mean, that division's not very weak. Just like
Okay.
a lot of the majority of NFC divisions. NFC East next.
Okay.
I got the Redskins winning again.
Mhm.
I mean, this division, a lot of people call it weak. It's not that it's weak. It's just like it's pretty like I think it could be competitive.
Yeah.
When you got a few teams there that could win the division.
I got Redskins too.
Redskins, yeah.
I think it's gonna be
10 wins, maybe no more.
I think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be close like it was last year. I think it's not gonna come down to the last game. I think this is gonna. I think they're actually gonna clinch it maybe week 15, maybe or something.
Handedly.
Yeah.
I mean,
What's it handily? But they're gonna clinch it. It's gonna be more of a gap than last
Yeah.
year.
yeah, and I mean it depends on timing too. Of
Obviously,
when
key
the-
factors. RG3 has to stay healthy. This is
right.
this
yeah.
this is a kind of on paper a better Redskins team than last year's
Yeah.
Redskins team.
Alfred Morris has
he
upside.
should have a good year
Yeah,
again.
they got upside. So
Number 2, as much as
2, I go Giants. I'll
I
say
had that, and I almost had a solid 2, but I kind of had it as a 2, but almost like, they have so many injuries right now.
Yeah,
I know Eli Manning's good, but I don't know if he's that good.
yeah.
They have
Depends
so
on the
many
year.
injuries right now from preseason training camp. I don't see him making the playoffs again this year.
Me neither.
Maybe
Yeah.
top, and who knows? Maybe Coughlin. I know he has 2 Super Bowl rings. His job might be on the line.
He was almost zipped, a couple years ago. So
yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't know if that magic can strike
Yeah.
again. But
whether they're
I mean, you got David Wilson, but they have a lot, and Akeem Nicks, but it's just I don't know.
Yeah.
They have some.
Victor Cruz, for what for
It's
whatever
just I
worth.
don't know. It feels. It doesn't feel like they took a lot of injuries this year.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I just don't know if they have it.
they might win 8 games.
There's the
I mean,
Cowboys.
Yeah,
But once again, I think they could even get the second place. They
yeah,
might be the closest.
they could be
But that-
interchangeable.
That's because they're better than the Giants, because the Giants have
Yeah,
more injuries this year right now at the stage of
Yeah.
the game. But and I said I just don't think Tony Romo is going to be a clutch quarterback.
Yeah,
He has to show it. He has to show me it,
Yeah, right.
and he hasn't. I'm not saying it because I'm an Eagles fan and starting a Cowboy quarterback
He's
here.
been
I'm saying
playing he's been playing for a long time now.
he just got an extension.
Yeah,
We're talking almost Joe Flacco money.
yeah. So
Except Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl. Tony Romo's only won what, 2 playoff games maybe or 1?
I don't even know. Like
But they won what?
I don't even know how. Maybe he's won one.
I think it was against us nonetheless.
Maybe, yeah,
It was
maybe
Willie
that
McNair's
maybe
last-
the 1 year,
yeah.
but yeah, that's pretty much. I think that's all he really won.
And 4th place, as much as it's going to hurt me this year, the Philadelphia Eagles.
But if the Eagles win 6 games, 6-7 games,
6 games. I'm
Fine.
going 6. I'm going 6.
yeah, I'm starting to lean towards 6 right now, as well,
Improvement.
because it depends. They could,
Hopefully Vic's good this year. If not, if Nick Foles is there, or he might be traded maybe too, and then
Well,
who knows?
they did
Who knows? Then Andy Murray, Johnny Manziel, Teddy Bridgewater. I mean,
well, yeah,
quarterbacks, maybe.
the bottom line with the
the
Eagles,
Oregon Ducks quarterback,
Yeah.
who I think is a senior.
the quarterback for the future, I don't think is on the Eagles roster. So
Oh,
obviously
we got Matt Weiner. Oh, yeah, Matt Weiner.
Vic,
too.
I think
but
he's just time filler.
he's got it. Yeah, but he's got it.
If he has a good year, they could bring him back next year.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Well, he has to have a
but
good
he would
year.
have to have a good year. Yeah, they'd have to.
Monday
have
Night's
at
going to
least
show a
one
whole lot here because
Right.
there are some experts that
It'll
are.
be interesting.
There are some experts that I would say are drinking the Chip Kelly Kool-Aid, maybe, and
Yeah.
maybe looking too much into the preseason.
Like
Because I brought up the Panthers is a sleeper. The Eagles are now a sleeper team for a lot of experts here. Now,
Yeah.
I get it. The Giants are hurt. RG3 could go down again and tear that
Yeah.
ACL, and the Cowboys could just flat out suck this year.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, that division title was ours for the taking, kind of. To me, that's too much
Now,
wishful thinking on
yeah.
a lot of experts' parts. Like I said, Monday night could be a huge wake-up call to reality for a lot of Eagles fans, where RG3 might score 40 on us, and Vic might play terribly, and this whole offense that Chip Kelly had might just be a complete disaster. And all of a sudden, this whole, we like this Oregon offense too. Oh my God, this is a terrible offense to win the NFL. So, like I said, I have never drank the Chip Kelly Kool-Aid this year, but I know there's a lot of fans and experts that have, and they might just fall flat on their face this year.
Now, Chris Collinsworth is actually on the record as saying that he thinks the Eagles are going to win the division.
Okay.
What does Al Michaels have to say in this response?
Yeah, that'll be that's a bold prediction. We'll have to, he can really
Gee, I thought
get
my
shut
Chiefs
down.
prediction was a bold one there, but
Yeah, I mean, 6 or 7
no,
wins.
I'll be happy. I'll probably
Oh,
kicking myself
we'll
saying,
be-
man, I should have saw this to
Yeah.
begin with here. But I don't
The
see
thing
it.
is that the thing is like talent that like new talent on the team that they have would have
It's
to
that
show.
defense, Tyler. It comes down
Yeah.
to that defense.
There has to be guys that would step it up, that would exceed expectations. For
Kerry
that to
Williams
happen.
has to play like he
The
did
way
in
we
the
look
Super
at
Bowl.
it, yeah. The way we look at it now, I mean, you know,
Michael Vick has to play well. The offense has to score points.
right?
Because that defense is not a top 10 defense. And
Yeah,
if it does finish top 10 defense, it's a miracle at this point here.
right.
Because it's not a good defense.
Yeah, yeah. And they're going to need more personnel, I think, in the future for it. And then, last but not least, possibly the best division in football, the NFC West.
Yeah. I got the 49ers.
Me too.
Winning it, yeah.
And with
Solid defense.
with a close second to Seattle.
Yes, Seattle. My defense on fantasy.
People, some people are picking Seattle in the division. You know, that's
Let's just say
understandable. It could happen.
Let's just say it.
They'll be right there, I think.
If these two don't face in the NFC Championship game,
yeah.
some people would think there's something wrong
yeah.
then. Or it might depend on the seeds too there. Because like
It depends
I said,
on this. Yeah.
if they're a 4th seed, obviously they might face Seattle. Actually, I know they're going to face San Francisco, who I'm going to just go out and say is going to be a 1 seed
Yeah.
this year. Then they have to face them because they need the 6th seed, who I have being the
Saints.
The Saints,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I said Seattle's going to be a 5th
Seattle,
seed.
yeah.
So
to
Saints
me is a lock.
So then Seattle would have to then beat the 3rd seed, who would be the Washington Redskins.
Okay. Well, okay. The Falcons.
Falcons are
and the Bears.
2. Bears are 4.
You think the Bears? Okay.
4. I think Washington can get a better record than
Do
Chicago.
you think the Bears are going to win 10 games? Like, is that what it would?
They just need
I
to
don't
get,
think Washington will win more than 10.
Wait.
So-
Well, no. It have to be. I don't know. I think Washington will get in 3rd, and then Chicago's 4th.
Okay. So then there might be some because Atlanta too. Then I mean Atlanta's
Which means
at
the
least
Saints. Which means
third.
the Saints would face who I have, like I said, beating out
You
the
have
Packers. You also have the Packers in there. Like take it.
You have the so you would have the Saints facing the 3rd place team, which you would think would be
the Redskins. I think it's gonna be the Redskins.
And
I think the Redskins might go 6-0 in the NFC East this year. Chicago might go 4-2 in the NFC North, and I think those divisional records do matter when it comes to seeding sometime.
Yeah, and I think it will this year. I mean, there's definitely some potential like ties at the end of the year.
Oh yeah, that interesting tiebreaker system they have in the NFL too.
Obviously not a division like.
Why was you have the Packers? Who do you have out?
What's that with the playoffs?
Yeah,
the
if
NFC?
you have the Packers in, who do you have out then?
Okay, I would have.
I guess the Saints.
I have I would have the 49ers. As far as wild cards go, I would have Saints and Seattle, obviously.
So you would have
Bears close.
Oh no! Wait! I forgot. You would have Green Bay over Chicago. Okay, never mind. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, my apologies. I forgot you're not a wild card.
Yeah.
Damn phone.
And we got a phone ringing in the background.
Yeah.
So let's pause it. Well, yeah. So it's going to be close with that. I mean, these.
But
divisions.
yeah. Okay. So,
and
you would have against Green Bay 3rd and Washington 4th. Then I take it.
Washington 4th. Yeah.
So you like Washington? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Atlanta. I don't know. That'll be close as far as.
So I guess now since we have the seeds now, we know the matchups here. I guess we can go by these predictions here. We go back to the AFC.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So I believe in the AFC, I had the Chiefs, the 6th seed, taking on the 3rd seed. Let's see. It's not Denver. It's not New England. That's a bye.
You would think the Colts or Bengals. Then I think you would go
It
with
would be the Bengals.
Bengals.
Yeah, Colts would be the 4th seed. So, Chiefs, Bengals. Obviously, Chiefs making the playoffs would be a huge accomplishment for that franchise.
So, yeah.
You got Alex Smith, and already you got fans talking. Would it be great if Alex Smith talking about the 49ers in this beating Colin Kaepernick and wishful thinking maybe made a lot of people's thoughts there. I'm not going to be quite that high. I think the Bengals win. I wouldn't say soundly, but I think they're going to beat the Chiefs.
Okay.
And then Colts and Ravens.
Colts would, yeah.
Ravens. Ooh, rematch from last year's wild card.
3 and 6 seeds. Yeah.
As crazy as it's going to sound, I'm going Colts over Ravens.
Okay.
This is not the same Ravens defense. This is not going to be the same
Right.
Andrew Luck. I'm not saying Joe Flacco's going to play a bad game. I just think
No.
this is a new and improved
It might
Andrew
just
Luck
be-
here.
Yeah.
So Bengals beat the Chiefs. Colts beat the Ravens, which means Joe Flacco does not win another back-to-back Super Bowl, which I think most experts are almost going with the Ravens are not going to win a back-to-back Super Bowl this year. They kind of came out of nowhere last year too, but I just don't see it happening this year. So that would mean that the Broncos would take on the Colts, which would be a great matchup because now you have Peyton Manning against the prodigy son kind of for Indianapolis in Denver, and it's going to be in January, so it's going to be probably 10-degree weather again.
Yeah.
And you got the kid from Stanford of all places playing. So might be a competitive game, but Peyton Manning comes through. He finally gets, and does he gets his former team. Reggie Wayne, actually, it might be Reggie Wayne's last year, maybe, too. You never know. He's getting up there in age.
Yeah.
Might be a very emotional game, and that maybe Reggie Wayne does what Ray Lewis did. He says this is his last year, and already that makes Peyton Manning go, oh, damn, I already have enough pressure in this game, right? Now my former teammate might retire here. Patriots, Bengals? Ooh, this is going to be an interesting one here. I'm going to go Bengals. I think talent-wise, they're just a better team. I think Andy Dalton can shock some people maybe this year and outplay Tom Brady in the division.
Yeah.
So then I got Bengals trying to get back to that Super Bowl. They haven't been to one since, hell, they faced Joe Montana. Back to back against the 49ers and Joe Montana. Taking on Peyton Manning and the Broncos. And I got, going to Super Bowl representing the AFC, Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think he finally gets back to the Super Bowl. I think it finally happens this year with Wes Welker.
Right.
I don't know what to say. That's the thing. I think a lot of people are saying, "Oh, Denver, New England, you got Wes Welker beating his former team in that thought he was not good enough to stay a Patriot." I just think Cincinnati might shock people. I think they might overlook maybe New England a bit because this is the Bengals.
Yeah.
They're kind of like the Browns, kind of were laughing stock for a while. Not this year. They're going to surprise some people.
The last couple years, they've been.
They've been in the playoffs past 2 years. So this is the most talented team yet. So Denver over Cincinnati. Denver goes to the Super Bowl in the AFC.
All right.
You want to
so
go?
Then the NFC.
No. Oh, I thought you wanted to go.
You
the
want
AFC.
me to go? Okay, I got to think here.
Yeah.
I mean, the bottom line, I've continued to say that I think the Broncos are going to make it.
Okay.
I mean, the way the other games play.
And you got the same 6 guys there, so it's might be similar matchups.
Right. Yeah.
You would have.
I pretty much have the same teams, and seeds. I think.
Let's see. You would have the no. You had
a lot of
you had Denver.
head
I think you have Denver 1, New England 2, probably like me.
I would have Texans 2.
Okay. Okay. So Denver,
Denver,
Houston. Okay.
I think the Patriots they're not gonna. I don't think
you'd
they'll
have
win more than 11.
3. So Denver would be 3. Cincinnati, I guess, would be 4.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think Cincinnati might win 11 games. I think New England might win 11 games.
But you'd have, I guess, Cincinnati then. Probably.
Yeah, we'll go Cincinnati 4 though.
Okay, 4, and then I guess the Colts would be 5th.
Yeah.
And 6 would be the
Ravens.
Yeah. Okay. So Ravens would be.
So then the Ravens would play the Patriots. The rematch of last year in the playoffs.
That's actually
that could be interesting.
That could be interesting.
I mean, yeah, I mean that could be interesting.
Who do you have winning there?
You know what? I'm going to go with the Ravens. Because I don't think that the Patriot. I mean, other than Tom Brady, I mean, maybe
if any Patriot fan is going to listen to this here, the hate mail you will get.
Yeah. And
Ravens aren't that good this year.
We did see, Flacco in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
So I mean,
if they playing in Foxborough again.
Yeah, and they almost beat them the other year too.
Yeah.
So I mean, who knows?
We have played them technically in 2-1. Just that the kicker kind of blew it for Baltimore at the end.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if that. I mean, obviously, because I have the Broncos going all the way, I don't think that'll matter in the long run.
You have Peyton Manning avenging that loss last year in Denver again to the Ravens. Avenge. That's what you guys said.
Okay.
Because there's 6
Colts would play
the Bengals.
I'd say the Colts. I'd say the Colts would.
Ooh, Andrew Luck beats okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be a good game.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. So Houston and Indianapolis
Colts.
then.
Yeah, Houston. Yeah. Wait.
You have Houston as a
Yeah,
2
Denver.
seed. So,
yeah, right. Denver.
Because you have
yeah.
Baltimore's a 6 seed. So
Denver,
they would face,
obviously, Denver beating the Ravens, and then
avenging that loss, yeah.
yeah.
So now you have an
That's
AFC South battle then.
And then
Houston and Indianapolis.
that'd be a huge toss up because I mean I would think they might split in the regular season. So that's
I think it's going to be a sweep by the Colts. Because like I said, I have the Houston collapse happening this year.
Oh,
you got a 2 seed. I have making maybe the 7th seed this year, which means they're not making the playoffs.
Yeah.
So you see Matt Schaub coming together this year. I see him falling apart.
Yeah.
So that's the best thing about these predictions. You never know.
Yeah.
Till they actually happen.
Right.
And we're all dead wrong in the end.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough call there. Then I mean, but I mean the way I would picture it right now, I mean it could be different too.
Okay.
Once we get to that time of the playoffs too, but if it were to end up that way, it's like it'd be a toss up for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, either team there
losing to Denver.
So that's
we both got Denver.
That's
okay.
the bottom line.
Let's go. I guess you said the NFC. NFC. Okay, NFC. Let's see who we got. I had number 1 San Francisco. Number 2 I had the Falcons. Number 3 was the Redskins. Number 4 was the Bears. Number 5 was the Seahawks, and number 6 was the Saints. So Washington against New Orleans. I'll go Redskins there.
Okay.
Obviously, I think as good as improved as the Saints defense will be, still will be middle of the pack defense. The Redskins have a way better defense, and I think RG3 will stay healthy. Hopefully, he won't be limping into this playoff game like last year. And I think he gets a win, and Washington will be happy for at least a week. But no, Washington beats New Orleans. But it would be a huge accomplishment for the Saints to make the playoffs. Seattle against Chicago. It's in Chicago. Bears pulled for shocker, winning the division. I'm gonna go Seattle. That was everybody's kind of favorite right now. So let's see. That would mean that means they would face San Francisco in the divisional. Gonna be a bloodbath of a game, pretty much.
Yeah.
Could be a coin toss. I know I said San Francisco in the past, and I'm gonna stay with them here. But I would not be surprised if Seattle makes it to the Super Bowl here. I feel like the winner. Even Atlanta wouldn't surprise me either.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. With Tony Gonzalez coming back for another year, I'm kind of slightly pulling for him possibly.
Yeah.
But no, I got San Francisco winning a close one against Russell Wilson and the Seahawks, and they will face the Atlanta Falcons, a rematch from last year. Except it won't be in Atlanta; it will be over in San Francisco. But no, Matt Ryan outplays RG3 and the Redskins, so it would be the Falcons and the 49ers, and as much as I like to see Tony Gonzalez finally get to the Super Bowl and hopefully finally get that ring, I'm going to go San Francisco again.
Rematch of last. Yeah.
I still think Matt Ryan's going to get the job done again at clutch time.
Yeah.
As painful as it's going to be for me to say that, it's going to be San Francisco and Denver in the Super Bowl.
All right.
Okay.
So, all right. So then I have 49ers first, of course.
Yeah.
I would go
Atlanta?
Falcons. Yeah, Falcons second. I mean, they got what? Yeah. Third, I would have Packers, which would mean that they would face the Saints.
Yeah.
And that'd be quite a shootout game there. So
no defense in that game.
Yeah, but I would have the Packers moving on.
Okay.
Fourth, I would have the Redskins facing the Seahawks.
A rematch
of last year.
The same location.
And I would have the same outcome. Seattle.
Hopefully without an RG3 going off the field incident.
Yeah.
I take it.
Yeah.
You're hoping he stays for the whole game.
Who knows? Yeah. Who knows? Maybe he won't even be healthy if that. I mean, who knows? He might.
You never know. A lot of factors this year could happen.
Yeah. So I have that. So then the 49ers would be facing the Seahawks.
Yep.
Like you
said, yeah.
And I mean, bloodbath of a game, definitely.
Two good defenses, very young, talented quarterbacks, as you can say. I haven't sold on Kaepernick yet, but I still think he can carry him at least to the Super Bowl again.
Yeah, and I mean they have the pieces
Mm-hmm.
to do so. Yeah,
Yep.
so I picked the 49ers
Okay.
winning that game. And then
Atlanta and Green
Atlanta
Bay.
and Green Bay. Whew, that's another good game. Yeah, I mean, I think more pieces are. I think Atlanta might have a little bit more of an edge there in that game, and that'd be a good game. I mean, the bottom line is I had the 49ers going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, so we both have Denver and San Francisco.
So right,
But
yeah.
do we have the same outcome though? though for that game. But okay, so
Yeah.
Atlanta, Green Bay. Not that it hasn't mattered.
It's very tough.
I would go Atlanta.
It would be situational.
I think they have more factors.
Atlanta's now
a more solid
they'd have
defense.
they'd have the first round bye advantage. They have
The home field advantage.
I would go Atlanta.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean weather might be so
they're in a dome. It's not gonna be
no. That's what I'm saying though. They're used to playing different climates.
Green Bay wishes it was at Lambeau. It might be a more competitive
Atlanta
game.
is. I think Atlanta has a reputation of having a very good home record too in recent years.
Well, they've had
as
a
it is.
horrible playoff record in the last couple of years. That's all I know.
But I mean, as far as like home, so yeah, I would go if that's how it turns out. I would go Atlanta.
And then you had San Francisco being Atlanta. So we both have the 49ers are back with Colin Kaepernick against Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos. So Tyler,
be a great Super Bowl.
Your prediction for the Super Bowl. Does Kaepernick avenge last year's loss to the Ravens, or do they fall short again? And does Peyton Manning walk away with his second Super Bowl ring, making him tied with his little brother Eli,
right?
And maybe finally legitimizing that he is a true legend, winning it with a different franchise.
I go with the 49ers.
Mm.
I mean the defense. I mean they got a top 5 defense. You gotta say.
Definitely vicious.
Loaded
defense.
with I mean they got weapons on both sides of the ball, and I mean Kaepernick. It'll depend a lot on him, on him. But again, they have great special teams. I mean, I think they're a little more complete. Than Denver. They 49ers have a good running game, and so I think. I mean, it would be a great game.
Definitely a great game.
And I mean that's why it's the Super Bowl. I mean, it could go either way.
Exactly. I'm looking forward to some of those amazing movie trailers we'll be getting going in this game here. But okay, so you know what? 49ers, great defense, great running game, a young quarterback.
Yeah.
However, this is Peyton Manning we're talking about here.
Yeah.
This is a legend. This is a man who will go down history as one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of the game. Right. And last year he played what I thought was a Hall of Fame caliber season that just fell short by some miraculously horrible defensive play by a Denver cornerback. A guy who I thought probably should win MVP. As good as Adrian Peterson's comeback was, Peyton Manning came back from a neck injury.
Yeah.
And played like he played never before. And this year, he's got more talent, so he should be playing better than he did last year.
Yeah.
With that being said, I'm going to go Denver.
Okay.
And here's the outcome. It's going to be 49ers up by 4. 2-minute drill by Peyton Manning. And the game-winning touchdown will go to Wes Welker.
Okay.
A little middle finger to Bill Belichick and the New England franchise that screwed this man this year. And he gets Super Bowl ring while Tom Brady gets nothing. Just watches miserably going, oh, we should have kept that guy. We should, And Bill Belichick going, or how he mumbles in interviews that pretty much.
Yeah.
But no, it's going to be Denver over San Francisco. And main reason also, Colin Kaepernick, who you have as a top 10 quarterback, and I do not. I still think, although he will show improvement, will once again collapse in some form in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He will make mistakes that no quarterback, like a Peyton Manning, would make. And that will cost him, again, another Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
Poor Jim Harbaugh.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
Harbaugh
we could both be wrong.
Because
who the hell thought Baltimore, of all teams, would make it to the Super Bowl last year?
That's the thing. I mean, they had quite a run.
They had a run.
And they had a good running game to go with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think the 49ers are pretty multi-dimensional. I think their defense definitely can help them this year. So,
well, that's the thing too. Von Miller, though, a beast for Denver. Yeah. And if the Super Bowl, I know he's 6-game suspension at the beginning of the year, but He'll be back for the Super Bowl.
Right.
He'll be healthy.
Yeah.
And he will be a pain in the ass for Colin Kaepernick in that game.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we'll see.
We'll see.
Their offense can be, the whole pistol offense can be interesting.
So, Denver, San Francisco. You got San Francisco. I got Denver. We could both be wrong.
Yeah.
It could not be both of those teams. Seattle might be in there.
If it were both of those teams, it'd be
maybe
really
the
interesting.
Bengals of all teams make the Super Bowl this year. That's
maybe the Seahawks.
I kind of get pissed off when it's a team that hasn't won a Super Bowl before, because that just means that's another franchise that's won at least one Super Bowl. While we, Philadelphia, a very long established franchise, still have not won one yet.
Yeah.
So when you have a team like Seattle or Cincinnati win one, it's kind of a slap in the face to Philadelphia. I'm just saying. It starts making you feel like, oh God, I mean, you kind of need to lean on like a Chicago Cubs fan for support. How do you cope with this?
Yeah.
You ever won one for a while or been into one? I mean, and you've been around since the early 1900s.
Well, yeah, I guess hope Chris Collinsworth is right, and that they win the division and get in the playoffs. I mean that'd be great, but I mean we're just not we're not expecting it.
We would need.
He'll get huge props, or he's just sounding
we would need
ridiculous.
RG3 to get hurt. Maybe Alfred Morris to get hurt for Washington to be weak. We would then need maybe Eli Manning to go down. We need Tony Romo to play the worst season of his career. Hell, maybe Jerry Jones doesn't have like a heart attack, and maybe that just collapses the whole franchise. Maybe the stadium just collapses in Dallas. Who knows? I mean, it looks kind of unstable. I mean, how the scoreboard could fall on somebody maybe in the field. I mean, that thing looks unstable up there anyway.
Yeah.
But Philadelphia, it's going to be a long season.
Yeah. At least
it's never a dull moment in Philadelphia. Yeah. I guess you can say it's always sunny in Philadelphia.
It's always sunny. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, that's what I guess we'll focus back more on that. We were a little more national today.
Yep. Yeah, a little national today.
But yeah, we'll see how the Eagles play in this Monday night football game that, even though expectations aren't necessarily high this season, unless you're like Chris Collinsworth or something.
Or you're drinking the Chip Kelly Kool-Aid, which a lot of Eagles fans are doing. I see you people. Stop doing it. You will embarrass yourself this year.
Yeah, so nevertheless, it'll be an interesting game. See if see what the Eagles how the defense attempts to handle RG3 and Alfred Morris and in their
it's in
regular
Washington.
season debut.
It's in Washington.
See how the offense performs.
Yeah, see this up-tempo offense.
See what Chip Kelly has up his sleeve.
See if Sean McCoy has some nice runs.
Yeah, he should. And
see if Vic can stay consistent for the whole game.
See how the backup running backs do.
Yeah, Polk and Brown
hold on to the ball. See if Jackson has any big plays. See how the special teams does.
Cooper is on the team. See if he can make some big plays yet.
So yeah, I mean it'll be interesting. Obviously, we're all looking forward to it.
And that's pretty much what we talk about is just how we thought of the game, pretty much.
Right. So, and where the season may go after that.
Yep.
So with that in mind, that'll conclude this edition of TW Sports Talk. Thanks for tuning in as always, and continue to stay tuned for what is in store here on the channel.